What's up, everybody? It's Ben Scarborough, and I'm chilling here at Third Eye Collective in the secret room with Mckenzie Lawson.
What's going on, Ben?
Big Mckenzie day here at the studio.
Big day.
Oh, man, for a Thursday, I'm actually having a wild Thursday.
It's already gotten pretty wild so far.
Yeah. I just got back from day 0 MomoCon, just up the street at Georgia World Congress Center. The nerds are coming out.
Love it.
In droves.
Love it.
So I went up there to get my press badge, came back here, and now we in the secret room.
That's a lot for a Thursday.
Yeah, it's been pretty active. Like, I was actually up at 10 a.m. this morning, smoked a blunt, ate some breakfast. Like, I've been having
It's a solid-ass Thursday so far, and it's only getting better.
Yeah, it's been just moving in that direction.
Love it.
So, what kind of day you having?
It's been pretty solid as well. Pretty uneventful, but can't complain. My sister's here with me. So she's in town. It's a great day. Probably gonna do tacos and tequila later.
Gang.
Great day. It's a great fucking day.
What is going on this weekend?
Unfortunately, I work weekends.
Okay.
So I do bottle service at a club. So any weekends are usually pretty crazy for me.
Mm-hmm.
But considering it's pre-Memorial Day weekend is going to be insane everywhere.
Everybody's
the whole
getting
city's
in.
going to be insane. Yeah.
So, how long have you been doing bottle service?
So actually, I've only done it for probably 2 years. It's a long story, but before that, I was in a girl group for about 8 years.
Yeah.
Worked in a restaurant for 5 years during that time period. Ended up signing to Timbaland. Going on a tour, so quitting my restaurant job.
Whoa, hang on. That sounds like, whoa, hang on.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
The Timbaland.
The Timbo, the king.
So you're saying you're going about your life. You're in a group.
Yes.
You and a couple girls.
Yes.
And
Timbaland. So basically how that happened was we were in a group for like 8 years and just completely super broke. I mean, the grind was extremely real. Like I said, I worked at a catfish seafood restaurant for like 5 years. Sucked. Worked every day there and then would be in the studio at night. Just, we were funding everything. Like just trying, we had really at the time had no management, had no funding, like anything like that. So.
You like music.
I love music. I would hope so. I've been doing it for about 10 years. Came out the womb singing. So yeah, no, I love music. But yeah, so ended up, he found us on, saw a clip of us on Instagram and was like, wow, I guess he'd reached out to one of his friends, one of his producer friends, and was like, wow, I really like them. I'd love to meet them. And so it just happened he was going to be in Atlanta for a session with Young Thug. We pulled up to it and he was like, I think you girls are super dope. I would love to have you guys on my project I'm releasing in December. And he was like, do any of you guys write? And I was like, yes, I write like all of our music. He was like, okay, dope. Give me your information. I'm going to shoot you over some tracks or whatever in the next couple days. So I'm like, cool. You know what I mean? Me and my homegirl, Lauren, who was in the group, we left and we were literally thinking like, well, that was cool. I mean, nothing will probably come of it, but we just met Timbaland. Like that was pretty fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
So then we leave and like not thinking about it. The next day I'm just sitting there. I was actually in a fight with my boyfriend at the time. And then I look down and my phone's vibrating and Timbaland's calling me. So I'm like, hold on. Okay. Nothing else matters right now.
Bye.
Bye. Exactly. I need you to leave. I got to focus on this because I got to get myself out of the seafood restaurant.
Hey, it's like that.
It's like that.
You know what I'm saying? You can just meet somebody out here in Atlanta and just.
No, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It was definitely.
Were you like super nervous in that studio session, that Thug session?
No, because it was actually super relaxed. It was over at Patchwork Studios. So
Love
it's like
Patchwork.
they had like the big room in the back. So there was the actual studio room where he was recording. And then they had the side room, which was like the lounge area. They had like drinks, pool tables. They were playing different music. Like, it was just a whole like party kind of
Chill
vibe. So yeah. So it was really dope. We were just really there to like hang out and meet him in person.
So you're kicking your ex. You're kicking him out.
Yeah.
Your phone's ringing.
Yeah.
You get on the line.
Yes.
What's he talking about?
He's like, hey, what's going on? So I want to send you over some tracks. Like I told you, like I would love for you girls to be on my project that I'm dropping. I think this was literally like the beginning of November, and his project was supposed to be released in December. So he was like, I really want you girls on it though. Like I think y'all are dope. I want y'all to be on it. So I'm like, okay, like it's go time. Like this is the moment that you prepare for. You know what I mean? So he was like, I'm going to shoot you over a couple tracks. Let me know what you think. Vibe out to it, whatever you can do.
Yeah.
So I think I went and got a bottle of like Jack Daniels or something and was like, it's time. Like we got off the phone. He sent me I think he sent me like probably only 4 or 5 tracks. Out of those, I wrote to 3 of them that night. Couldn't afford studio time or anything. And I didn't really have the luxury of that time. I had to work the next day and everything. So I literally just set up a camera and on my phone and just like videoed me singing along to the tracks, like so he could get an idea for what was going on. And he literally called me back the next day and was like, these are incredible. I'm going to fly you girls to Virginia this weekend.
That's high praise, right?
And I was just kind of like, wow, okay. So Virginia.
It's going down.
It's going down. So I think I quit my job. Like I literally quit my job.
Yes.
Sorry, can't help y'all shell out some catfish this week. Like I'm going to Virginia
Bye.
with Timbaland. So we were there, I think, for like 7 days. 7 or 8 days.
And what was it like? What was going on? He was there working on some music?
Yeah, like he had different artists, different writers, different producers coming in. It was just like,
You're at the
he has
studio?
Thomas Crown studio. His studio's there.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, I think on that same circle, like Pharrell and I want to say Teddy Riley, but that might be completely incorrect. So I won't say that. But it was like a big crew of them that used to produce, like their studios were all side by side, kind of in that little loop right there. And so that was like a super iconic place to be and to be able to go there and record. Coming from 3 girls who like literally, we were, like I said, like we were putting our money together just to be able to be in the studio. So to have been flown in, flew out to go work with Timbaland at his studio, an iconic ass studio with all this amazing talent and everything, met a bunch of different writers and producers. And we pretty much just went in, we recorded the 3 songs that I had sent him of me singing. We recorded those songs.
What?
Yeah. So those were the songs that we recorded. And then one of those actually went on his project, and it's featuring Tink. It's called Tables.
Oh, yeah.
And it's on his King Stays King project.
Do you look back at that writing session that night, after getting off the phone with him and thinking and being like, wow, I'm so glad I just buckled down and knocked those lyrics out, right?
Yeah, I think, one thing about it is it's kind of hard because not anybody, but it's easy to write and to create when you're feeling creative and when you're like, life's good, like I got a check, like I'm feeling creative, everything's going amazing, but it's harder when you're not feeling inspired and it takes discipline.
Yeah, there's like
you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like
you.
Yeah, like it takes discipline to be like, okay, like I have to do this right now. Like you're not always going to feel it. And as a creative person, I think you want to be able to feel it. But that's something that I've learned over the course of the past 10 years of just like writing and recording and stuff is like, I can write songs at any point. Like I can sit here and write a song and I may not initially, you're not going to connect with every song the way that you would evenly. You know what I mean?
It's
like
true.
Some songs you'll like love and it'll be like, this was a passion song. Like I really, really felt this song. And then some other songs, you're just not going to feel that all the time. Not that you don't like the songs, but it's just a different connection with every song, honestly.
So it's kind of funny that you mentioned that because I do remember a few musical endeavors that I got into, but it was
really?
It was during the MySpace era.
Tell me, Ben. You had a MySpace music page?
I had a MySpace music page, and it was my younger brother and a friend from middle school, and we called ourselves the Glock 5 for some reason because there was only 3 of us, and we made a few hip-hop tracks that I actually still happen to have buried in an old Gmail account, and every 3.5 years we'll dig them out and have a good laugh and stuff like that.
I think you're my musical soulmate because literally, I'm not kidding. That's what I did.
You got rap songs on MySpace
I have rap
too?
songs.
Yes.
Yes. We had a group. It was me and my brothers, a bunch of white kids, and it was really hilarious. But I'm not gonna put ourselves on blast and give y'all like the name of the group. Don't need y'all going and Googling and digging up the archives.
They don't
it's really
need all
embarrassing.
that. They don't need
but
all
no,
that.
it was so fun though. And that, like, honestly though, like those times when you're just like, it's that feeling when you just like let go and you're doing it for fun and it's like enjoyable, that like, that's how music should feel. You know what I mean?
I just remember it being a very early taste of what being recognized for making something creative is like. So we would make the song and we put it on our MySpace and then like 100 people heard it. And so like you're going
and that was like a big deal because it wasn't like how it is now, obviously. Like we sound old, but I mean, it's progressed so much to now it's like it's like the SoundCloud era of like, there are people who make it huge off of putting a song on SoundCloud that literally just gets streamed millions of times. You know what I mean? But like then that was kind of the first version of that, was like having a MySpace music page and like just putting your track out, and like it could be completely trash quality, but hey, like it was out there, people could listen, you felt pretty good about yourself.
Yeah, it was like I couldn't believe I went to school the next day and people were like telling me that they had heard my music, and I was like, so you actually went to my MySpace page and pulled it up? Oh my God, you found it? It wasn't like now where you're like shoving it in people's throats like, listen to my link is in the bio.
No, yeah. Buy my mixtape. Nope. Literally just, here's my MySpace music page. Oh yeah, people were playing our songs at parties and everything, like, because it was funny, but it was actually really good.
Did you see that MySpace Music was recently in the news for completely losing all of the music that had been uploaded pre-2009?
I just want to take a moment to thank God for that, because like that's honestly been like a lingering fear in my soul, in my gut, that I'm like, I don't need that to surface. But so thank you, MySpace. Thank you, MySpace.
And then it was like a day later, the Internet Archive, archive.org, comes up and says, actually, MySpace, we actually have all of that archive.
No, Ben.
So it's out there somewhere. It's on some Russian guy's server in his hard drive in his basement. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God. Well, he can enjoy that.
It's
definitely some bops.
It's like definitely more music that you could ever listen to your entire life. Yeah. I have a very early appreciation of music right around age 13. I think, like broadband internet had just hit.
Oh, yeah.
We weren't on dial-up. It was like shit was fast legendary. Now. And I just remember going to like a Turtles music and buying 3 CDs all at the same time. I bought Led Zeppelin 2, Sublime, self-titled, and then the most recent Beastie Boys album. And it was like, after that, I was just buying music. That was like the first, like, let me spend some birthday money on.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have like any classic LPs, like CDs that you bought back in the day that were just like, that you just burned into your mind? What are they?
The Britney Spears album.
One More Time? Baby One More Time?
I think it was the one. I think I
Circus?
had. It wasn't Circus. It was pre-Circus. It was when she's walking through the beads.
Okay.
And like during that time, like every girl wanted the like hanging beads in their. Yeah. In their. I mean, come on. If you didn't have them, then like, what are you doing?
I saw it on Britney's album cover.
Yeah, it's like I have to have that. So, her album was definitely one. I feel like that's the one that I spent like hard-earned money. What'd you say? What was it? Oh, yeah, definitely Spice Girls.
Spice Girls.
Spice Girls, yeah, because I was like, I knew there's another one.
Shout out to Posh Spice.
No, yeah, Ginger. Spice Girls and Britney Spears. Like, those were probably the 2 that I purchased at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever go on any trips back then? Did you have like a Walkman, like a portable CD player that you brought everywhere?
Oh, 100% had like a little, the little CD players. I did at one point have like a little mini iPod shuffle that would hold like 100 songs that I thought was just like really dope. Before that,
the family computer. Did you just have like a computer?
Oh my gosh, LimeWire literally was like the AIDS of any computer. Like it was like a virus. It would always just put viruses on our computer.
LimeWire, rest in peace.
Like my dad would get so pissed at us. He'd be like, girls, boys, who put this shit on the computer? Like, gotta get another like antivirus, whatever. Like, oh yeah, loved LimeWire.
We're like the only generation that's gonna have to go through something like that, Like now that you can just stream it.
I would have never wanted to grow up in any other era other than the 90s. Honestly, I can say that personally. So we got the best of both worlds. I feel like.
Yeah, we kind of went through that technology window.
Yes. So we kind of saw it before and after.
So now all these kids now who are in elementary and middle school who were born into a world where YouTube has always existed and are educating themselves, using that, just like my heart goes out to them because y'all are just being handed information on like scrapes of it at a time, Those days where I would use like Morpheus and Kazaa and Napster and all that stuff, I really felt like we were on that pioneering, like I was digging for songs. And some of them weren't even labeled the right way, Everything was labeled Weird Al, and it wasn't Weird Al, you know what I'm saying?
There'd be this one thing that we would always, it's like you think you were downloading a song on LimeWire, and then you press play to be like, I did not have consent, I did not have sexual relations. It would be Bill Clinton. And I'm like, I don't want to hear this anymore. But it was probably a virus. But you thought you were downloading a specific song, and really it was just Bill Clinton's voice.
YouTube to mp3.com.
Yeah, definitely have done that. Definitely have done that.
Can I get a YouTube to mp3.com shout out?
Yes, for real. Like I used to go to Hot New Hip Hop, Digital Drip, like all those.
The music blogs.
Yeah, just so I could find new up and coming, because it's like, that's really the only place that you would, honestly, at that time.
Yeah. So
Good times.
I know, man. I always look back at that era so fondly because I actually have a CD spindle full of a lot of those CDs.
They burnt CDs?
Just from that
Black market
period.
CDs,
Yeah,
yeah.
some of them are like music that my friends were recording at the time. But yeah, man, if I ever needed to like, play some of that at one of my friends' funerals one day, that kind of
Hey.
super morbid, I know. But it's like,
Hey, I would hope that one of my friends would do that at mine.
that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm looking out. I'm looking out for you. Malcolm, I got your music, bro. So Let Me Love You.
Yes.
Tell me about this record. Tell me about how it came to be and what it's like since the record's come out.
So it's kind of crazy. So after the whole the group era, I had recorded so many songs in the past 10 years, obviously. Like I've written and recorded so many songs.
Studio rat.
Yeah, like because I mean, yeah, you gotta work, gotta get it. So
I'm in the O.
yep. All the time. Like I basically lived there. But so yeah, so I ended up releasing after the group situation, released like slowly but steadily releasing a couple just singles because honestly as the group we weren't really able to release a whole lot of music. So I was like, I just need to put things out. Like people are waiting. We had, a really good fan base, people watching and waiting to see what we were going to do and put out. And they wanted music because they liked what we had put out in the past. So the first single that I dropped was called Live a Little. It did really well.
This is like 2017-ish, right?
Yeah, 2017, probably top of 2018 maybe.
Okay.
And then after that
I like the album art on that, by the way. It's like
Thank
very like
you.
retro vibe.
Thank you so much. Yeah, he killed it. I think it's Vendetta.
Okay.
He's super, super dope with cover art and just anything like that.
Okay.
And then the second single that I released after that was called Thirsty. A little bit of a different vibe. And then shortly after that, I released a song called Cutting All Ties. And then I shot my first visual to that. It's on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was checking out on YouTube earlier.
Yeah. And then, so that was probably a year ago. So I waited a year before I dropped Let Me Love You.
Okay.
That was kind of a period of time where I was kind of just honestly in cruise control and like kind of burnt out with just the music industry in general. But I have so much music that I was like, I need to put this out. It's like as a creative person in general, whether it's painting, acting, whatever, like you take all this input or you're putting so much of yourself out there like into your work. And if you're not able to share that with other people, you know what I mean? Or if you're not able to share that or put any kind of, output from all the work that you're putting in, it's kind of like it'll run you dry. You know what I mean?
True.
So I finally was like, you know what? I'm going to drop another single. And that's whenever I put out Let Me Love You. And it's doing really well too. I dropped that on Valentine's Day this year.
Okay. The little candy hearts on the cover. Yeah.
So yeah. And then that's all kind of gearing up for my album that I plan on releasing.
Album?
An album.
How rare. What's an album?
No, that's what I'm saying. And it's actually really crazy because I didn't set out and plan to do like, a lot of people nowadays, like they'll put out like an EP, like 3 to 6 songs, maybe like, this album has 19 songs. Yeah. And I'm really excited about it because I'm just like, I feel like anybody who like loves my music, like they deserve that. You know what I mean? And it honestly did not feel complete until I had all the 19 songs like in order and everything. Like
the arrangement.
Yeah. It's like everything just feels right. It's not like I was setting out to have a really long album or anything. It made sense and it felt good. And even before when I was like, oh, I want to put out an album, it just didn't feel done yet.
Okay.
So some of the songs that I wrote are literally from 4 and 5 years ago.
Okay.
That are on the album. So, and then some are more, current or whatever. Some of them were songs I did with the group. But yeah, that I wrote whenever I was in the group. So I'm really excited about that.
A lot of people that I follow seem like they take their album on tour with them. Is that in the cards for you?
I would love to. I think my initial just goal is to put the music out because,
just get it out there.
Yeah, just get it out there.
People familiar with you and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And then after that, I would love to shoot maybe one or two more videos, kind of let like the album simmer over like the summer and stuff.
Hey, it's almost music video season in Atlanta.
Right. Yep. So I definitely want to do that. And then I would love to obviously perform and travel and perform the album and the singles and stuff. So that's definitely in the game plan. But I think the first step is for me to just like put it out. And I'm doing it all independently too. So it's just me.
Hey, while you guys are listening along, why don't you pull up a new tab in Chrome and Follow the girl on Instagram.
Yes, follow me. It's Mckenzie Lawson _ is my Instagram.
What's going on this page? What?
So it's a little bit of everything, right? So I like to cook. So there's, I have a little highlight of that, all the stuff that I like to cook. I like to eat too. So that's probably why I have to like to cook. There's like fitness stuff. I like to work out, take care of myself. There's different videos of me like singing and stuff like that. I actually performed, I think it was not last year, it was about a year and a half ago. I performed at A3C festival. And so there's festival. Like, yeah. Okay. So I did a full set at A3C and
did you meet any cool people while you were there?
I did, yeah. The specific stage that I performed on, I'm trying to remember the name of the event, but it was really cool. It was just a good experience in general because I had never really performed a full fluid set. And especially not without the group. So it was like my first kind of time performing as a solo artist.
Were you nervous? Were you like, oh shit?
I was nervous, but I was nervous. I think
you converted that nervous energy into like a...
Yeah, it's like once you're up there and you're kind of doing it, it's really enjoyable. But for me, like I love it all, but like my comfortable like space and like the part that I feel most comfortable is like in the studio and creating and the whole process. Yeah. And then it's like, it's the other stuff that's like being in front of people and that kind of thing that's like a little more uncomfortable for me. But
still get that way.
Yeah. Kind of an introvert in a lot of ways.
I have like shaky dog energy when I'm just like, oh my God, I just need to like,
I know. Yeah. But I love it all. It's just some things are more comfortable for me and some other things I have to like stretch myself. But
there's this saying, you have to love the process to fully get out what you put into like music.
Oh, yeah.
Like me being a filmmaker, I gotta love writing the scripts just as much as editing the music or editing the gun sound effects to the people shooting at the end of the process. And like, what is your favorite part of, if you have a favorite part of like going from like conception to like mastering the audio? Like, do you have a favorite part if you could select one?
I think the process of like writing the song is really dope because I feel like it's just really cool to be able to hear a track and then lay a top line or come up with a melody or come up with a concept and it click and really mesh with the track. I feel like that's just like a really great feeling.
What the hook gonna be.
Exactly. And you're just like, when it just feels good, you know what I mean? You're like, oh yeah, that's it. And then I think that process of like writing a song into the conception of, okay, now there's actual vocals and backgrounds and harmonies and ad-libs and now it's a full record. It's like, lyrics in your phone or on a sheet of paper to like an actual full record. I think it's that process is my favorite.
You said you came out the womb singing?
Yes, I did. There's clips of that on my Instagram as well.
Let's talk about some early singing moments.
Okay, so
church,
church,
school, talent show, anything like
all that actually.
Okay.
So my childhood was interesting in the best way, but I grew up in Albany, Georgia.
Okay.
So where are you from?
Go Dogs. Virginia.
Virginia.
Like right near the beach, man. I'm talking about like Virginia Beach area. Like
that's exactly where we were whenever we were there with Timbaland. We literally like went and sat at the beach, but dope area. Yeah, I loved it. But yeah, so my parents were worship pastors.
Oh.
In the church. So literally grew up in the church. My mom was leading worship pregnant with me. So I was always in and around that. My dad is a chiropractor, but he also had a studio, like a recording studio in our home. So he would record different like artists and choir, like church choirs. Field Mob recorded at my house. Luke Bryan recorded at my house. Yeah. Before he was Luke Bryan. Yeah, so it was really dope to be able to be in and around that. Like my family's a very musical family, musically talented. And so that was really dope. But yeah, I mean, there's home videos of me literally standing on my dining room table while my mom's folding laundry. All of that, like all the things. Literally hitting this and then the runs and then up. And then I'm two. It's not even any words. I'm just belting notes. I'm just giving you life.
That musical family, though.
That musical family, yeah. So I was always in and around it. And like, it's funny because that's kind of how me and my dad really bonded and stuff too, is because he would, if he didn't have to work with anybody in the studio that night, he'd be like, hey, Mckenzie, like, you want to go record a song?
He's like, you got any beats?
Yeah, you got any tracks? Like, want to spit a bar or two? But no, literally, like, I would go up there and like, I think I did like that Mandy Moore song, Someday We'll Know. And so there's recordings of me when I'm like 15, 16, like singing those songs. Was I younger than that? I might have been younger than that. Yeah. But so that's kind of dope to have. But yeah, so always was in and around that. And like I grew up in a private Christian school for most of my childhood education. And
they
so
got you right.
Yeah, debatable. But yeah, so we didn't have like talent shows or dances or anything like that.
Okay. So it had to happen outside of.
Well, they had pageants, which I didn't really give a damn about. I don't really like any of that. But they did have a talent segment, which is the only thing I gave a damn about. So I was like, well, this is my chance to sing, and I'm
turn
going
up one time for y'all.
Turn it up for y'all one time, and I did. So like, those were fun. We definitely have videos of that. I think there was like a contest that I won for like the 4th of July that they did like downtown where I had to go sing, and they gave me like a free recording studio session or whatever. But yeah, small town life was interesting.
Now, I've never really been to Albany. Where is that in Georgia?
Why would you?
Oh, okay, it's like that.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing there.
Okay.
So anytime people ask me like, "Where are you from?" I'm like,
Atlanta.
Albany. Well, I'll tell them Albany. They'll be like, Georgia. I'm like, Albany, Georgia, 229, Doherty County. Yes.
And someone's
They're
like, I got
"Why?"
arrested in Albany County.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I got arrested in Doherty County, or I went to college there or something. I'm like, wow. But yeah, it's
And you know Strap, right?
Yeah, Tad.
How long have you known
Tad? I knew him like since high school. So I went to a private Christian school, and then my 11th and 12th grade year, I was fully exposed to all that Albany's public school life had to offer, and culture shock. But for a period of time, I think Tad went to a different school at one point, but I think maybe one of the 2 years he went to Westover, and his dad was my soccer coach. His dad and his mom were my soccer coach.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
So that was awesome. And then we had mutual friends and stuff because everybody knows everybody in Albany.
Yeah.
You know how that is. So yeah.
Were you like, wow, I'm taking a school bus to a high school right now?
Well, by that time I didn't have to. Like I had my driver's license, thankfully,
right.
so I was able to drive. But yeah.
Duh, Ben.
Duh. No, yeah. I mean, shit, I didn't have a car. Like I drove my mom's car for the first year because I mean, I probably would if she did not have a car for me to drive, I would have had to have taken the bus. But were
you like, wow, there's people in the lunchroom?
Yeah, it was yeah. I think I left school every day for lunch. Wasn't supposed to, but I left. Yeah, because I just.
What's the emoji?
Zaxby's. So
Tatted
yeah.
on me so you know it's real.
Yeah, I would literally just leave. But
Beach bod by Zaxby's.
But it was different because we actually had like a prom, and we had a dance. Like we were allowed to dance.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think like our Christian school prom. I remember the one time that I went. It was a dinner followed by a movie in a theater.
Like a movie
in our prom
theater?
dresses.
I'm sure
movie
that
theater.
Was really comfortable.
Literally like in my exactly. I'm like.
Do you even remember what you guys watched?
No.
Shrek 2?
It was probably something exactly. Probably something extremely like.
Like, why am I here right now?
Yeah, like rated G.
For gangster.
The gangster. Yeah. So it was interesting. I feel like the time period of me like going to the private Christian school and then going to the public school, like I feel like those were two completely different lifetimes actually.
Okay.
Very different.
First iPhone. We talking 3G, 3GS? We talking 4S?
I don't even know. When was my first iPhone? I know my first cell phone, like I always really wanted a Sidekick, but could never, like, and my brother got it and I was really pissed. I think I had like literally like the Altel version flip phone of like the knockoff Razor, which is really what I wanted.
With the T9 jump?
Yeah, like, oh yeah. Like I'm probably definitely gonna have arthritis in my hands as I get older because I would go ham with the T9, but
some studies that have come out like all the T9 generation are
exactly crippled in their hands. So perfect.
Man, I had to mow so many fucking lawns for a Motorola Razor that summer.
You know?
Oh my God.
No, literally. Yeah. So I think my first cell phone was literally like 99 cents. It was like with our family plan. Yeah.
Hey mom, come pick me up, man. I'm done.
I'm done. Yeah. So that was that.
Who are some videographers that you plan on working with when you are shooting your visuals for your projects this summer? You got anybody picked out yet?
Honestly, not really. There's a couple of different people that I've looked at, but I don't know if I'll shoot it here or if I'll go out to LA and shoot something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or I haven't decided yet. I'm really like, I think I can get kind of overwhelmed because it is me doing like everything. So I think if I just try
Wearing
to
all
like,
those hats.
yeah, I'm like, I really want to get the music out first. Well, the music, the album, which the name of the album is Rehab. I don't know if I said that earlier, but
Rehab.
yeah, Rehab. So there's a couple songs that I'm having to like re-record, like I said, that are like older that I just need to like re-record, or that I had the group on them that I need to re-record. And then getting that mixed down and mastered and everything. I shot my cover art the other day, so I'm excited about that. But I'm just trying to like really knock out the major steps to where like then I can really fully tackle on the visual. I think I know what song I'm gonna shoot the video for next.
That's exciting.
So I have a concept and everything, but I'm just trying to I need the album done first. You know what I mean? So it's definitely on radar, and I'm brainstorming. But
have you had anything remotely tragic happen as far as like losing a hard drive or losing some sessions that you had recorded or anything? Any nightmare scenarios?
yeah, and it's because I was broke and I was dumb. So actually, a lot of the songs that I just said that I have to re-record, it's because during the time whenever I recorded them, I did not have a hard drive. Which I'm like looking back on it now, I'm like, what the hell were you thinking? Like, you literally you just go record it. You have the MP3 and like that's it. Hours of work for the MP3,
Not the master's session or whatever.
not the actual like saved session to where it's literally just like the 2-track of like, so you can't mix it.
Right.
You can't go back in and change a vocal. Like, it's literally like you have to re-record the whole thing. Hence why I'm having to get in and re-record several of the songs. So from like that era, like early on.
That should be a trip down memory lane, right?
Yeah.
You're like, hang on, let me switch this bar up real quick.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. So so that was pretty tragic and that's been kind of annoying, but it is what it is. And honestly, like I just try to be like a lot of these songs I would want to re-record anyway. So it's like I'm kind of like, it's fine.
Do you work with an engineer in the studio, like a dedicated engineer?
Denver Moon. He engineered probably about a little more than half of my album. He's really dope. He works for Hitco now. Like he's Hitco's engineer.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so he's killing it. But before that, funny story. Pierre, Ayo Pierre, you want to come out here?
Pierre Bourne?
Yes, he engineered my whole probably the first 13 songs that are on my album. No, it's insane. So he's so incredible, and I'm so like proud of him because whenever I met him, he was Epic's engineer at 12 Studios, and that's where I was first getting in, and I was working with Antonio Reed, and so I was in over there like I was there really like this is after I was still signed to Timbaland, still in the group, but things were kind of looking like it wasn't gonna. Yeah, we weren't really sure. So I was in there just as a songwriter, like writing for other artists and stuff. And he was the engineer. Like he was their engineer.
Dude, he's made some of my favorite beats in the past like
amazing.
5 years.
I'm just really glad to see like one thing I can say is he worked his ass off because he literally basically lived in that studio and was in sessions from sun up to literally sun up and would just like squeeze in like the little time that he had to record his own songs and to get his ideas out and to be creative. So that's why I'm like, it's just insane to sit there and
look at him go.
Yeah, and I'm just so happy for him that he's like had the success that he's had because he deserves it. Yeah.
I hope that I could grow up and make beats like Pierre Bourne one day.
Hey, yo, Pierre, you want to come out here? Dope.
I'm always like editing something for the show.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing about YouTube is you can't use copyrighted music or it'll like
right.
get flagged or you can't monetize it. So,
right.
You know, we obviously trying to monetize that content. So I'm always like typing in like Pierre Bourne type beat. I probably type that in like once a day.
Yes. I love it.
Because there's this whole subgenre of Pierre Bourne type beats.
Yeah.
And they all fly.
Oh, yeah. For sure. That's amazing. But yeah, like I just always thought that was dope. And it was actually like a lot of the songs that I recorded during that time are like, that was the first version of my album. And a lot of those songs are still on there, but he was the original person that engineered. And I loved working with him. He was dope too.
Do you have a particular favorite studio that you like to go to? Like your favorite headspace?
I really like Mud Knocks. That's actually like around the corner. It's in this.
I've never been in there.
Have you not?
I need to fix that.
I love the vibe of that studio. It feels like you're like Peter Pan Lost Boys. It's like a little like one of the rooms I really, really like. It's got like just weird ass art everywhere. So it's super creative. The lighting's really dope. It's a 2-story loft, the actual studio is. So like, I don't know. I love the vibe of it. And
it sounds like Tree Sound. You ever been up to Tree Sound?
I have. I've been to Tree Sound
You know
before.
what I'm talking about? It's like all woodland and shit like
Yes,
in there.
yes.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I like that studio as well. But this one to me is just, it's kind of more like grunge but in the best way possible. It kind of has the same vibe as y'all studio here, actually. Just all the abstract art and just,
Industrial
real
as fuck.
Yeah, real eclectic
High
looking.
ceilings, you know? Like, that's really...
Yeah.
We take pride in these high ceilings.
No, I love it. I love it.
A lot of room for growth.
So I really like recording there for like just the vibe and the inspiration of just what the room brings in and of itself. But outside of that, I really like working at home studios. Like there's a couple different people that I work with that have home studios, and they have nice little setups. I just like the privacy of it.
Yeah, a little bit more intimate.
Yeah, but yeah.
Do you have a routine that you like to get into before you hit the studio? Do you like see before I start video editing, I blast 3.6. I'll probably play a few random Juicy J and Project Pat tracks to get me all like, get my little drink on, roll my little blunt. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's get it. And then
I definitely catch a vibe during my session. I'm known to bring a bottle of wine or liquor, just depends on how I'm feeling. Definitely try to find my vibe with that beforehand. Like, there's nothing really I do like necessarily like ritualistically like beforehand, but as far as like if I'm writing or something, because sometimes I'll write songs that are like outside of the studio and then I'll just come and I'll lay them, or like the creative process for me is honestly like different every time, because you just don't really ever know when it's gonna hit you. Like I could come up with a full hook and like concept and line and melody and everything, like just driving in my car and be like, oh wow, like okay, cool. But so it's different every time, honestly. But I'm definitely known to catch a vibe in the studio.
When inspiration strikes.
Exactly. So speaking of catching a vibe.
Yeah. Mckenzie.
Ben.
What do you say we get out of here and like, I don't know, get some talks or something?
And tequila?
Oh yeah. I know this perfect rooftop scene. It's totally us right now.
Totes down.
Okay. But before we get out of here, just because we got the eyes and ears of everybody from inside the perimeter all the way up to Jersey, let these folks know something, man.
I would say to stay 10 toes. Keep it moving. Hold it down. The marathon continues.
Hey, man, follow the girl on Instagram. New single out. Link in bio type beat. You already know what it is. It's Ben Scarborough and Mckenzie Lawson chilling here at Third Eye Collective in the secret room. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.